west of Glasgow fighting with each other, and then practically neighbours fighting with each other. So this is the age of quarrel and hypocrisy. That even if they've sought their situation out with some other enemy, they'll just find someone else to fight with because it's the nature of Kali Yuga. People quarrel very easily. And it's all because of this false ownership thing. If we understand that Krishna owns everything and everything should be used in his service, now we might think, oh, it all sounds very well, but how's that ever going to come about? Because Krishna's in control. The human beings are thinking they're in control, but someone starts a work doesn't mean to say they're going to finish it. They don't know what's going to come of it. Nobody knows. But what they do forget is that Krishna is in control. And Krishna is known as Ajita. So Lord Chaitanya, who's Krishna, he's also Ajita, unconquerable. So his desire to spread this benediction of the holy name, to bring the light and love of Krishna Prema to everyone, that's not going to be frustrated. That's going to come to pass. Interesting that one Sanskrit scholar in America who had studied Srila Prabhupada's books, and he studied his lifetime, and he could see what he'd achieved in such a short period of time, even at such an advanced age. He didn't start his mission until he was 70. And he says, according to what this individual has achieved, then he's actually an empowered representative of the Lord. He's not some ordinary sadhu or saintly person, but he's especially empowered. He's come here with a mission, and people won't realize it at this point in time, but he will be remembered in history as someone who turned the tide in this age. So therefore, if we do a little bit to help advance this mission forward, then whatever little we can do, then Krishna is very grateful for that. Lord Chaitanya doesn't see any fault in any of us. We might be aware of our own faults and we may try to disqualify ourselves, but Lord Chaitanya doesn't disqualify us. He's always just encouraging us, just chant, that's all. And when Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda and their associates, they would go round door to door and they'd encourage people to chant. And they wouldn't take no for an answer. And sometimes Lord Chaitanya, people would make fun of him. They'd be chanting in a joking way, like mocking him, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. And he'd cover his ears, and then they'd chant louder, and then he'd run away with his ears covered, and then they'd be running after him, chanting Hare Krishna. So in this way, he was enticing them to chant more. Is this projector going to work? Fingers crossed. Okay, we're still within time, so it's not a problem. When Lord Chaitanya came to 500 years ago, then when he took this chanting onto the streets. So to begin with, Lord Chaitanya and his associates, they were having Nagar Kirtan, they were chanting at night, indoors, and they were experiencing great ecstasy of love of God by this chanting. And but Lord Chaitanya, one night he said, this is not why I came. I didn't come just so we can chant indoors and relish this for ourselves. We're not misers. We're not just... If someone has a cure for a great disease or a terrible disease, and then they don't just say, oh, that's good. I mean, my friends and family, we're all fine now. You guys can find the cure for yourself. No, it's just like, say somebody comes out for a cure for COVID and then say, well, I've got it, but I can't be bothered giving it to anybody else. And we think, oh, you're such a miser. So this cure for this material disease, material is called skin disease. We're not talking about psoriasis or eczema or acne or dermatitis. We're talking about thinking I'm this body. This is the skin disease Prabhupada would be talking about. We identify with this body as a self, but actually the body is just composed of some ingredients, which is not us. And we are of a higher nature of that. So, of course, even now, but even more so back then, the caste system was very strong in India. And there was some very strict enforcement of the caste system, segregation, etc. But Lord Chaitanya, he became very popular with some people and very unpopular with others because he wasn't being discriminating as to who he was giving this Mahamantra to, who he was involving in this chanting process. On the street, he would freely just go and embrace outcasts of society. Because just like Mahatma Gandhi, he wanted to start this Harijan, right? Everyone's children of God. We're all equal in the eyes of God. Then, of course, cannot do that mechanically, but spiritually, we realize, okay, we may have temporarily someone's a Brahmin, someone's a Shudra, someone's male, female, young, old, etc. But ultimately, everybody is Jivera Swarupahi, Krishna and Nityadas. That our eternal Swarup is that we are Jivatma, servant of Krishna. So Lord Chaitanya was acting on that topmost platform where he wasn't considering who was fit or unfit, but everybody. It said in the later cantos of Srimad Bhagavatam that in Kali Yuga, everyone is Sudra or less. Even if we're born in a higher family, some of us here today may have been born in a Brahmin family, but they, out of their humility and honesty, they don't really consider themselves to be Brahmin. So I think we're going to get invaded in a few minutes by the dramatic artists here. They're just preparing. So in this way, Lord Chaitanya, he considered that no one had any pre-qualification and no one has any disqualification. Just like they say that every sinner has a future and every saint has a past. So Lord Chaitanya was merciful, equal to everyone. So we're just going to sing this bhajan now, just for a few minutes. Jeev Jago, can it be seen? Can everyone at the back see the writing on here? Yeah, okay. Yeah, just switch the light off there, that'll make it, down there on the left, the light, switch the light off. That's it. I'll play Mridanga and you play harmonium, that'll be fine. Just sit and play. Okay. Okay, if you just follow me. I'm all right. Just Jeev Jago, Gaura Chanda Bole. Utanidra Jao Maya Pisachira Kole. We're going to change this. The words are going to be Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Bhaji Boboliya Eshe Sansara Vitare Buliyaro Hile Tumi Avijara Bhare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Marelo iti ami hoinu avatara Ami bina bandhuara kiyache tomara Ene chia shadi maya nashi barolage Harinama Maha Mantra Lao Tu Me Magi Vakati Vinoda Prabhu Charane Karina Jai Hare Nama Mantra Loilo Magia Nitai Gora Haribo 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 Nitai Gora Haribo Nitai Gora Haribo 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 Nitai Gora Haribo Harinam Sankirtan ki Srila Prabhupada ki So now there's going to be the kids' talent show starting with, is it the drama? Oh, Sri Ram's going to give a talk. Okay.
No, it's fine. Yeah. Prabhu. Is there any way where I can control when the slides will Hello. Okay. Hare Krishna, everyone. Mm, okay. Mm, then thank you very much for all coming here and giving me a chance to give this talk on Gaura Purnima. So, so let's begin. So, mm, Okay, first of all, what is Gaura Purnima? Gaura Purnima is the day which celebrates the appearance of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And who is Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the golden incarnation of Lord Krishna. Other names he has are Vishvambara, which means maintainer of the universe. And as a child, he was called as Nimai because he was born under a neem tree. And another name is Gaura, which describes his gold complexion. So there are 108 names for Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Here are just three of them. So also Krishna takes many forms, and of all of these forms, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the most merciful. So, mm, and when he appeared, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not appear alone. He appeared. He appeared with his associates, who are the Panchtatva, which we will discuss in the next few slides. So, so where was Chaitanya Mahaprabhu born? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was born in the town of Nadia in West Bengal. And when was he born? He was born on a full moon day 500 years ago. And who were his parents? His parents were Jagannath Mishra and Sachi Mata, who will appear in our play we will be doing shortly. Mm, and and his horoscope was by Nilambar Chakravarti. So, who was his grandfather, and it said that he would become a great scholar and preacher. Um, and Now, when he appeared, he did not appear alone. He appeared with his associates, who are the Panchtatva. So, the one in the middle is Lord Chaitanya, who is Lord Krishna, and then the one next to him in the blue dhoti is Lord Nityananda Prabhu, who represents who is a form of Balaram. Um, and then the one in the white dhoti is Sri Advaita Acharya, mm, who represents the Vishnu Tattva, and mm, and the one in red dhoti is Gadadara Prabhu, who is who is represents Krishna's internal potency, which is Srimati Radharani, and last but not least, Srivasa Prabhu, who is the one in orange dhoti, represents a pure devotee. Um, Okay, why did Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appear? So his mission was to initiate Sankirtana movement, and as we all know, preaching is the essence. Srila Prabhupada went to every town and village and he preached this Krishna consciousness to the Westerns, and then Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also wanted to deliver fallen souls like drunkards Jagai and Matai. So and now also, if we think about it, we are delivering a lot more souls than we think. When we go and do Harinam on the streets, every single soul who can hear us, the busier the place, the better. Even if they hear the name Krishna, they can be liberated. So, so and if we do it in other places, the trees, the plants, they can also hear us chant Hare Krishna. Birds and animals, they can also hear Hare Krishna. They might not be blessed enough to say the Maha Mantra, but even if they hear it, then they could be liberated. So. So now we will discuss a very famous shloka in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4, text 7. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has appeared as mentioned in this shloka. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bharata abhyutanam adharmasya tadatmanam shricham. And the translation of this shloka is, whenever and wherever there is a decline in religiosity and the predominant rise in irreligion, at that time I descend myself. And and this is Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga is where is a decline in religiosity and a predominant rise in religion. So that is when now Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has descended himself. So next slide. So thank you very much for listening to my talk, for my small talk on Gaura Purnima. If I have made any mistakes during the talk, then please forgive me. If Now, if you have any questions, then please ask. I will try and answer, and if I can't answer, we have senior Vaishnavas here who can help. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Any questions? Okay. Um. Then. Okay. Then. Okay. Next one more slide. Okay. So now, to please Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, let us all chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra once. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki, Mayapur Sachi ki. Hare Krishna.
We'd now like to invite Satvik to the stage. Satvik is 7 years old and he's going to teach us how to chant Hare Krishna, in case we don't know already.
Hare Krishna, my name is Satik and I'll be singing Bangla Bhajan. Sachiru Anginar Nachi Pishambarai Ashi Ashi Pire Pire Maire Lukai Sachiru Anginar Nachi Pishambarai Ashi Ashi Pire Pire Maire Lukai বয়নে বসন দিয়া বলে লুকাইনু সাচি বলে পিশাম্বর আমি না দেখিনু মাহিয়ে অঞ্চর তরি চঞ্চরণ চরণে নাচিয়া নাচিয়া যায় কঞ্জনম গমনে মাইরি অঞ্চর তরি চঞ্চরণ চরণে নাচিয়া নাচিয়া যায় কঞ্জনাম গমনে বাসুদেব ঘুষুত অপরূপ শুভা শিশুরূপ দেখি হয় জাগা মানা রূপা বাসুদেব ঘুষুত অপরূপ শুভা শিশুরূপ দেখি হয় জাগা মানা রূপা Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Gura, 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 Jaya Gura. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Nitai Gura Haribol, 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 Nitai Gura Haribol, 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 Nitai Gura Haribol.
I think we can do better than that for Satvik. Haribo! Amazing, 7 years old, such great timing as well in his pronunciation. Bengali is his native tongue, isn't it? It's just like falling off a log for him to sing this. So now we'd like to invite the Krishna Gokulam players to perform a drama called The Brahmin's Feast. Is that right?
Hare Krishna, everyone. Our wonderful wonderful Krishna Gokulam kids are going to perform an amazing Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastime. It's called the Brahmanas Feast. And I'm going to call up the cast now. Sri Ram as old Brahmana. Yeah, okay. Okay, you can go up. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Now you stay there. Yeah, sorry. Molly as Jagannath Mishra. You come here, Molly. Yeah, okay. Thank you. Vidya as Sachi Mata. Pari as Nimai. Hare Krishna. Scene 1, Jagannath Mishra's house. Sachi Mata is cooking. Jagannath Mishra is playing with little Nimai. An old Brahmana bent over with a cane and a white dhoti comes walking down the road to Jagannath Mishra's house.
Welcome, sir. Please come and sit with us. Why have you come to our house in Mayapur?
Thank you. You are very kind. Thank you. You are very kind. My home is very, very far away from here. Since I am so old, I am visiting all the holy places. I am visiting all the holy places. I may stay with you for one day and then I will continue on my pilgrimage.
Of course you may stay. Here is a cot which you may sleep in. My wife Sachi will prepare some prasadam for you.
No, please do not bother. Every day I take a vegetable or two and prepare an offering for the Lord. This is my service to Him.
In my kitchen, you will find ghee, rice, grains, and fruits. You may take whatever you want and prepare a meal for our deity Lord Vishnu and offer it.
The Brahmana goes to the kitchen and squats down by a small coal stove. He cuts vegetables and rolls chapatis. At last, he puts all preparation on a plate. Meanwhile, Sachi Mata and Jagannath Mishra are busy with other household work. Nimai is playing nearby his toys. The Brahmana takes his offering to the deity.
Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimade Bhaktivedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyabadi Parshatya Deshitarne.
While Brahmana
Namo
is
Mahaprabhu
praying,
Krishna
little Nimai
Prabhupatayate,
crawls
Krishnaya
over to
Krishna
the altar
Chaitanya Namane
and
Gaudesha
begins
Namaha.
to eat the offering.
Stop, you naughty child.
Jagannath Mishra and Sachimata comes running over.
What's wrong? What happened?
I was preparing this offering for the Lord, and your naughty child has came and touched it. I cannot offer impure food, therefore I cannot eat. What shall I do?
Please, sir, there is no shortage of food in our kitchen. Please prepare another meal.
We shall watch the child carefully and make sure he does not disturb you again.
Nimai is mildly scolded and taken away. The Brahmana returns to the kitchen and starts cooking again for Krishna. he prepares another plate for the offering and takes it to the altar.
Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimade Bhakti Vedanta
Nimai
Swami
comes
Niti
out
Namine
by
Namaste
surprise from a
Saraswati
hidden
Devi
place
Gauravani
and
Prachari
begins to eat the food
Nirvishesha.
again.
No, not again. This naughty child has taken my offering. What is
Jagannath
stopping
Mishra.
the Lord from eating my offerings?
Jagannath Mishra and Sachi Mata come in over running again, and Sachi grabs Nimai and holds him.
Oh, respected Brahmana, please do not lament. We are very sorry that our naughty son has disturbed you. We don't know how he snuck away so quickly while you were offering your meal.
I am just an old man trying to make offerings to the Lord, eat it and take rest. I cannot eat unoffered, impure food. Now what shall I do?
It is getting late. We shall put Naman into his bed and lock the doors tight so he cannot disturb you again.
Nimai is put to bed and the door is locked. The Brahmana returns to the kitchen to cook again for the Lord. At last, he makes another plate. With so much effort, he is taking it now to the altar again to offer to Lord Krishna. You can see how frustrated he is.
Krishna, please help me. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimade Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine
Nimai appears out of
Nirvishesha
nowhere
Shanivari
and begins to eat
Varshatyadeshatari
the
Namo
Brahmana's offering
Mahavaranye.
again.
No!
The Brahmana cries. Nimai now shows the real appearance as Lord Sri Krishna. My dear devotee, do not lament. In another life, I was the son of Nanda Maharaja in Vrindavana. In that life, you were also a Brahmana. You came to my father's house and made an offering to Lord Vishnu. 3 times you cooked, and 3 times I ate your offering. Because I am the same Lord Vishnu, I am pleased with your service. That is why I always come to eat your offerings.
Oh my dear Lord, you come to this material world just to please your devotees. I am the most fortunate. I offer my humble obeisances to you.
Lord Sri Krishna continues saying, please continue your nice service and do not tell anyone what has happened here tonight. The Brahmana bows down to the Lord and then sits down to eat prasadam. Nimai returns to his room silently. That's the end of this play. Hari Bol.
I think the Brahmin's forgot his kitchen. So let's hear it again for Krishna Gokulam players. Haribol! So I think everyone got the meaning of that drama. Each time the Brahmin was going to offer to Lord Krishna, then Lord Nimai appeared like a baby, but actually he was always the Supreme Lord and he came to accept the Brahmin's offerings. So he got some special mercy. Sometimes this is the way Krishna's special mercy appears. It appears like we're getting frustrated in some way, but then the mercy comes. So we have to be patient, and then we can see Krishna's hand and everything. So now we'd like to invite some of the children up. They're going to do a chorus of sloka recitation. Does everybody know who's coming up next? So the children have prepared some Bhagavad Gita slokas, is that right? Yeah. Okay. Let's see. You two here. And you two over here.
Shivesh. Shivesh.
Okay, so they're going to chant 22 slokas from Bhagavad Gita. They've been learning one a week for the last 22 weeks, or thereabouts. So we ask everyone to be have their ears quite ready to hear, and the kids have put a lot of time and effort into this. And some of you may know these already, so if you know them, then you can jump over them. And if you don't, then shout as a father of mine.
Jaya Shri Krishna
Chaitanya
Chaitanya
Prabhu
Prabhu
Nityananda
Nityananda Shri
Shri
Advaita
Advaita Gadadara
Gadadara
Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Dhritarashtra Dharmakshetre Kurukshetre Samavetayotsavaha Mamakaha Pandavasya Karmakurta Sanjaya. Chapter 1, text 39. Kulakshaye pranashyanti kuladharma sanatanaha dharme dashte kulam krishnam adharmavadi vakyuta. Chapter 1, text 40. Adharmo avivara krishna pradyoshanti kulastriyaha Shuddhastashuvaseya jayate varna shankaraha. Chapter 1, text 41. Shankaro Narkayeva Kulaknanam Kulasasha Vatanti Pitroheshyam Lukta Vidoda Kriyaha. Chapter 2, text 1. Tam Tata Kritya Vishtam Ashrapurna Kulekshanam Vishilantamidam Vakyam Uvacha Madhusudhanaha. Chapter 2, text 2. Kutasva Kashmalamidam Vishame Samupashchitam Anaya Drishtam Ashvargyam Akritikanam Arjuna. Chapter 2, text 3. Klaivyam Mashma Gamabhata Naitatvayo Upadyate Shudram Hriya Garbharyam Tyakto Dishyakarantapa. Chapter 2, text 4. Guru Nahatma 5. Guru Nahatmahi Mahanubhava Shreyo Bhoktam Vaikshamapi Alokya Kartakamasta Guri Naiva Bhujya Bhogan Rurapatatam. Chapter 2, text 7. Karpanya Dosho Padasavaha Prachami Mandam Samudracheta Yachreya Shanishtitam Rohitame Sishyasteham Sadimam Tvam Prapanam. Chapter 2, text 11. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Asokshanam Vasochasvam Prajnavana Svasase Gata Sumadhikasascha Manasashanti Panditaha. Chapter 2, text 12. Natvevaham Jatanasam Natvam Neme Janatataha Nachaivam Vishyamaha Vayamata Param. Chapter 2, text 13. Dehinosmin yata deheto manam yavanam jara tata dehantara tapter dirasatranamukirti. Chapter 2, text 14. Matra sparsastu kaunteya chitoshna shukadukata agamapayo adhyastam siddhishvabharata. Chapter 2, text 15. Yangina vyayantyete purusham purushashava samadhaka sukam dhiram somritattvaya kalpate. Chapter 2, text 16. Nashato vidyate bhavo na bhavo vidyate sada ubayorapi drishtavantas kanyustatvadarshibhihi. Chapter 2, text 17. Avinashi tu tadvidhi yena sarvam idam tadam nanasham avyasya nakashit kartumarmati. Chapter 2, text 18. Antavantane deha nityashokaha sharirah anashino apremyasya tasmat yudyashvabharata. Chapter 2, text 19. Yayam veti hantaram yaschainam manyate hatam ubautau na vijaneto nayam hanti na hanyate. Chapter 2, text 20. Nachayate mriyate va kadachan ayam bhutva bhavita vanagoya ajunitya shashvatavaya puranam namyantimane sharire. Chapter 2, text 22. Vasam shijirnani yatta vihaya navani purnati naru aparani tata sharirani dhammayani anyati samprati namani dehi. Chapter 2, text 23. Ainam chindanti shastani nainam dati pavaka nachainam predyanti apona shoshati maruta. Chapter 2, text 24. Achaidyayam adayayam achaidyam soshe vacha itya sarva katastanur chalo ayam sanatanaha. Chapter 2, text 27. Jatasya hi dhruvo mrityu dhruvam janma mritasya cha tasmad apariharyate chitam arhasi. Hare Krishna.
Thanks for that wonderful recitation of Bhagavad Gita slokas. I'd now like to invite Avani. She's going to sing a nice Bengali bhajan of Gauranga Karuna Koro. Okay. Is Vrinda here? The one that plays harmonium. Unless Guru Bhakti is able to come and play harmonium. Will Palika allow it? And anyone good at playing cartels? I'd like to see some honest devotees not putting their hand up. Honest and humble. Are you playing? Well, you can do whatever. Can you play and sing? Okay. Let's see. Okay, harmonium. Whatever it is.
Yeah.
Switch your lights off in the cupboard.
Yeah, I don't know. I've not sung in the temple before. No. Is it? Oh. Yes. Okay. Hare Krishna. Gauranga Karuna Karo Dinahin Jane Musama Patita Prabhu Nahi Tribhuvane Gauranga Karuna Karo Dinahi Jani Samapatita Prabhu Nahi Tribhuvane Dante Trinadhari Gaura Daki hai tumhara Kripa kariye sho amar Hridaya mandira Dante Trinadhari Gaura Daki hai tumhara कृपा करिए शो यदि दयना करिबे पतिता देखिया पतिता पावन नाम किसरा लगिया यदि दयना करिबे पतिता देखिया पतिता पावन नाम किसरा लगिया पड़े छे बाबा तूफाने नहीं कानिस्तारा श्री चरण ताराणे दाने दास करा परा पड़े छे बाबा तूफाने श्री चरण ताराने दसे कर श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु दासरानुदासा प्रार्थना करो सदा नरोत्तम दासा चैतन्य प्रभु दासरानुदासा प्रार्थना करो सदा गौरांगा करुणा करो दीनहीन जानी मुसामा पतिता प्रभु नहीं त्रिभुवाने करो दीनहीन जानी मुसामा पतिता प्रभु नहीं त्रिभुवाने हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Karanita Jaya Mayapur Sashi Jaya Karanita Jaya Mayapur Sashi Jaya Mayapur Sashi Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Bol Hare Krishna.
Wonderful. She can hit those high notes, can't she? Thanks for that, Avani. That was amazing. Very nice bhajan. Prabhupada liked that bhajan very much. So now I think we're going to ask Pranati to come up. Is that right? It says here Pranati's 21 years old. Is that right? 7 years old. And what are you going to do today for us? Bajagoranga. Anybody know that song? So this song, Bajagoranga, Kahagoranga, Lahagoranga, Namare, this was sung by Lord Nityananda. And by singing this, we get the blessings of Lord Nityananda. And that's no small thing, because then we can actually get the blessings of Radha and Krishna. So we'd like to ask Pranati now. You have
भज गौरांगो कहो गौरांगो रहो गौरांगे नाम रे भज गौरांगो कहो गौरांगो रहो गौरांगे नाम रे भज गौरांगो कहो गौरांगो रहो गौरांगे नाम रे जे जना गौरांग बाजे से अमर प्राण रे जे जना गौरांग बाजे से अमर प्राण रे गौरंग बोलिया तू बहु तुलिया गौरंग बोलिया तू बहु तुलिया नचिया नचिया बेड़ा रे गौरंग बोलिया तू बहु तुलिया नचिया नचिया बेड़ा रे भज गौरांगो कहो गौरांगो रहो गौरांगे नाम रे गौरंग भजिले गौरंग जपिले गौरंग भजिले गौरंग जपिले हर दुखेर अभिशान रे गौरंग भजिले गौरंग जपिले दुखेर अभिशान रे भज गौरांगो कहो गौरांगो रहो गौरांगे नाम रे भज गौरांगो कहो गौरांगो रहो गौरांगे नाम रे हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
Krishna
Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev.
Thank you for that, Pranati. Amazing 7-year-old. I bet which some of us think we wish we were doing that when we were 7. So we'd now like to invite for and it's Vidya, Molly, and Pari. Are they here? Yep, you are. And you're going to chant Hare Krishna or something else? Yep, Hare Krishna Mahamantra. They're going to chant a new mantra. It's called the Maha Mantra, which is never Yovana, ever fresh. It's always new.
Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nidhi Namine Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nidhi Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyatare Shatarine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyatare Shatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna
I was back on. Vrinda's going to sing this Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu, which is a song by Narottam Das Thakur. And then following that, then we have a very special address by Mahatma Prabhu, who has specifically done a 15-minute talk. Adhoksha is going to follow on from that as well, about the glories of Lord Chaitanya and the gift, the rare gift of Lord Chaitanya.
Patita pavana hetu tabavata patita pavana hetu tabavata Mosamo patita prabhuta Sama patita prabhu jagada ha ha prabhu nityananda premananda suki ha ha prabhu nityananda premananda Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Kona ni tai jaya maya kotashi. Nitai ko haribo, 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 nitai ko haribo. Nitai ko haribo, 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 nitai ko haribo. Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai, Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaura Purnima.
Thank you, Vrinda. Always top quality kirtan. So we're due to have a lecture by Mahatma Prabhu. It's not live, but he did pre-record it specifically for Kurna Bhavan for today. So are we ready with the technical side of things? Testing.
This gift that to humankind has been given by Mahatma.
Hari Hari Bol. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Ki. So this is a talk by His Grace Mahatma Prabhu. He's a disciple of Srila Prabhupada. And for about a week now, he's been doing a series of talks on YouTube. And it's about how we can grasp the significance and the rarity of Lord Chaitanya, his appearance, and what it is he's come to give. Anyone know what he's come to give? You'll be finding out very soon. So he's explaining the rarity, the significance, and how to unwrap the gift that Lord Chaitanya was given. Because you can be given a gift, but you have to know the technique to get it out the wrapper. So I'll hand you over now to, and then at the end of this, I'll speak a little bit just to nail some of the points that Mahaprabhu is making. Jai Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai, Mahatma Prabhu ki jai, Gaura Purnima Hari Bol. Do you need the mic?
Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvisesa Sannivari Paschacha Dasatarine. This Gaura Purnima, I've been thinking about the idea of making oneself fortunate. Mahaprabhu says, Nam Nam Akari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shaktis. Krishna, you are present in your name with all your energies. There's no difference. You are the incarnation in sound. But Durdaivam, ihajani nanuraga. Durdaiva means unfortunate. And ihajani nanuraga means I'm unfortunate because there's no attachment in me for chanting the holy name. So the greatest gift that could ever be given to humankind has been given by Mahaprabhu. The Premanam, according to, I believe, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, he called this the Premanam, the name that gives prema, not just any prema, but prema in the mood of the residents of Vrindavan. So it's very special. And here I have it, and what do I do with it? How do I cherish it? How do I take care of it? How do I nurture it? Well, that's a good question. Prabhupada said, if someone takes to Krishna consciousness, they're fortunate. If someone doesn't take, they're unfortunate. If someone takes and then gives it up, they're most unfortunate. So Mahaprabhu is making us fortunate, but we also have to make ourselves fortunate. So we're given mercy. We don't deserve it, but we have to take it. It's like a seed. Okay, here's the seed of prema in the Maha Mantra. But you have to plant it in proper soil. So what is that soil? The soil is your faith. And then you have to water it and give it sunshine and nutrients. And that's the chanting of the holy name without offense, or at least making the effort not to commit offense. So in that way, we make ourselves fortunate. A lot of times we want the blessings, or we ask for blessings. We want mercy. That's half the equation, because when we get mercy, what do we do with it? Now, of course, there is the idea that mercy will do everything. And that is there also. But when we're speaking about specifically the holy name, it can't do everything unless we take the holy name properly. It only has potential to do everything. It can free us from sin with one chanting of a holy name, Nama Bas. But it won't give us prema unless we learn to chant without offense. So that is a nice meditation to have on Gaura Purnima, how to learn, how to practice chanting, how to, and we can say, vowing to chant without offense. Not just to chant, but to take the holy name as it is meant to be taken. Therefore, chanting without offense. And that should be our normal state every day of the year. And then we can use Gaura Purnima as an impetus. Now, why am I even talking about this? Is it even necessary? We know what the 10 offenses are. That's true. We know what they are. But we're not always conscientious in our chanting. So if Mahaprabhu is coming to give a gift, then I would say the proper utilization of the gift, even the opening of the box and the proper utilization, is chanting without offense. So sometimes you get a gift, you don't even open it, or you open it and you never use it, or you open it and you misuse it. So the gift in and of itself is not enough, because it takes two to tango, as they say. So now, what I find personally and through helping other devotees is that part of the problem of not taking the holy name, not taking the gift and utilizing it, is we maybe don't understand contextually what is going on. So I want to put some context to it. Traditionally, one had to be initiated and one had to be qualified to be initiated as a Brahmin, and then one would be given Gayatri mantra. And then one would be allowed to chant the Vedic mantras. So some qualification was necessary. Brahmins, Vaishyas, and Kshatriyas, but not Shudras. So, and then the Gayatri mantras don't work if you're not Sattvic. And they don't work unless they're chanted at the proper time. So there's time, place, qualification. So Mahaprabhu, seeing that people in Kali Yuga are not qualified, everyone is born Shudra or less, then he has to do something to help people become Krishna conscious. So he comes with the holy name, and then he says anyone can chant it, as Jiva Goswami said. It doesn't depend on initiation. So the holy name works whether one has been initiated or not. The main way it works is through siksha, through instruction of how to chant, how to avoid the offenses. So that's the process. Everybody gets it. You can chant it anywhere, anytime. You don't have to be clean. You don't want to, when you do deity worship, you have to be very clean, punctual. You don't have to be freshly bathed, tilak, anything. You can chant it anytime, day, any time of the day, like that. So that's a huge distinction. The qualification of the individual, as we said, there's no requirement. Anyone could chant it, any person on the street. So that's a great fortune now that we've been given a mantra which is more powerful than all the Vedic mantras. And we're not even Brahmins, we're not second initiated. It's just given to us. And secondly, once in a day of Brahma, Mahaprabhu comes. So that's 8,640 odd million years. And it's only once in a day of Brahma that Krishna comes, and then Mahaprabhu comes. And then Mahaprabhu gives the holy name that will give prema in the mood of the residents of Braj. So it's extremely rare. We are sitting here and maybe not realizing our fortune and the rarity of what we are doing, but it's extremely rare. So this holy name can give love up to Madhurya Leela. We can enter into Krishna Leela as a gopi if we want, just through this holy name, chanted without offense, with faith. And chanted without offense also means to not make offenses to devotees. So Prabhupada stresses that. We take the holy name without offense. We respect the devotees. We don't commit, we don't criticize, we don't in any way offend them. Otherwise, our chanting of the holy name cannot be pure. And then if it's not pure, it won't produce the proper result. But if it is pure, it can take us to the highest levels of Krishna consciousness, higher than ever possible before. And the paradox is that there are persons who are way more qualified than we are, who are not in a Gaudiya Sampradaya, who are not following Mahaprabhu, who don't have the mercy of Mahaprabhu and Nityananda. And even though they're more qualified and maybe more strict or self-disciplined, they can't achieve the highest position we can achieve. So it's all in the holy name, and Shishashtakam begins by talking about the holy name and how to chant the holy name and how to appreciate the holy name. Now, another thing Mahaprabhu is teaching in his Shishashtakam, Nadanam Najanam Nashundari, starting with that verse, I don't want women, I don't want wealth, I don't want fame, I don't want material progress. This is the goal of bhakti, but this is also the way you get to the goal. So we give up our intention to progress materially, to get anything materially, and we chant in that mood. Krishna, I just want to be your pure servant. I just want to love you. You love me, I want to love you. That is the mood. And so even if we're not there yet, we try to enter that mood. We chant in that mood. And then gradually, that desire to become a humble servant of the servant, purely without any motive, it develops. So this is the goal. And so all the verses that come after that, if you see those verses, it's all about pure devotional service and then going into separation. I just want to be with you, Krishna. I just want to serve you purely. I just want to love you. A lot of devotees sometimes are afraid to love because they feel if they love, they'll be giving up so much. Actually, you'll be getting everything. And actually, we want to love. That's what we're looking for. And so, who better to love than the person who loves you the most? And so this love that we want, that sometimes we're afraid to give because surrender sounds scary, giving up so much. This love, it's contained within the Maha Mantra. So if we chant it properly, then naturally we'll want to give up, we'll want to love, we'll want to surrender. It'll be spontaneous. And every obstacle on the path, the holy name will just blow it away, so to speak, shoot it, dissolve it. That's the power of it. So, as I was saying, appreciation, that's really, I think this day, Gaura Purnima, or any holiday, is a day to appreciate the significance of that particular incarnation or that particular spiritual master or sadhu, or the particular significance that's associated with that day, because the more we understand that, the more we will become inspired by that day. And so, again, I would suggest that this is a day for appreciation of what is the holy name and what is the gift of Mahaprabhu, and how Mahaprabhu has accepted us. And think of it like this, that we're all poor, uneducated, living on the street, and someone comes up to us and says, here's a check for 5 million pounds, and we all get it. You just put this in the bank, or you put it here, you invest it, you'll live very comfortably, you'll never have to work a day in your life. This is enough money to live on for the rest of your life, more than enough. And how would you feel? You didn't do anything to deserve it. You would feel amazed. You would feel incredibly grateful to that person. You wouldn't have words to describe. You'd have tears in your eyes, tears of joy. Wouldn't you? You can imagine how you feel. Now, how do we feel about the gift Mahaprabhu has given us, which is worth way more than 5 million pounds? Way more than that. It's the most valuable thing in the universe. And we've been given it, and we're just poor, homeless people who have turned our back on Krishna. And even though we've turned our back on him, he's given it to us. Think about that. If you can shed a tear in thinking about that, that will help you tremendously. Namo Maha Bandhanaya. That's why Rupa Goswami said, the most magnificent. This is your magnanimity has never been seen before. It's unprecedented. We are undeserving of it. And so let us always remember this, but more importantly, let us feel this. And if we feel this, then hopefully that will inspire us to take that gift that Mahaprabhu is giving, the holy name, and take it without offense and fully relish and realize the gift he's given. Hare Krishna. Now I have to walk up to the camera and turn it off so that you're going to see me walk up. I'll get closer to you. Hare Krishna. Jai Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna. Did anybody shed a tear? Yeah? Did you shed a tear? Wow. That's fine then. That's good. Mission accomplished. So, just a few points I thought were nice to resonate on. One was, don't become the most unfortunate. So, there's unfortunate, fortunate, and then if you get something and you don't use it, or you lose it, or forget that you've got it, then you become the most unfortunate, which is a real shame, isn't it? It's like somebody misses the boat, someone gets on the boat, and then somebody gets on the boat and jumps off. So that's most unfortunate. So the mercy we receive, this gift of Lord Chaitanya, is the holy name. but it needs to be accessed. And the requirement is, okay, you're given a gift, but the requirement is how can you open the gift? And Mahaprabhu uses three words which are very interesting: cherish, relish, and nurture the holy name. So it's a living thing. The holy name is a living thing. It's a living, loving relationship, and you have to put something into that, some consciousness into that, to cultivate the relationship. Otherwise, you're just making a funny noise at a certain time of the day, every day. When is this over? And then you're looking out the window, or you're looking at your sock, and you need to sew a hole. So that's really unfortunate to do that. And if you can chant with relish, then you're on the way to opening up that great gift that Lord Chaitanya is giving. So interesting point as well. The holy name works immediately. Everyone can just start chanting now, even they don't have diksha from a guru. The main way that the holy name is appreciated is through shiksha, is through instruction, not through diksha. Diksha initiates the process, but unless there's sufficient instruction, then you won't know how to chant the holy name. You may be just going around making the noise. So normally a mantra requires high qualification, but not the Maha Mantra. So the Maha Mantra is compared to a big circle, and the Gayatri Mantra is compared to a small circle. So with the Gayatri Mantra, you have to be this much up, and then it takes you this far. But the Maha Mantra, you can be right at the bottom, and it'll take you right to the top. You see that? I didn't plan that. That was divine intervention there. Whenever I say something that's really powerful and true, watch the lights, okay? Isn't that amazing? So, like a seed, the holy name has to be cultivated. So half the equation is receiving the seed. Like we have seeds right now, and there's a lot of messing around going on right now. We've got to shift them from one place to the other, and then from there to another place. You don't just get the seed and say, great, I've got 30 marigolds, fantastic. You've potentially got 30 marigolds, depending on how you treat the seed. If you know how to do it, then great. So the rarity of Lord Chaitanya is once every 8.5 billion years. So that's pretty rare, isn't it? That's more rare than winning the lottery every 8.5 billion years. And you get Braj Prem. You don't just get going back to Godhead or Vaikuntha. You get Braj Prem. You get the most elevated, purest form of love. So then Mahaprabhu made a nice point. He said, surrender sounds scary. And he says it isn't scary though if you love the person, then it doesn't seem scary. So when I look at you parents with your children, and I see the kids throwing pens everywhere and making a mess and thinking how you're going to have to clean up after that kid, to me that's really scary. But because you love the kid, you're thinking, oh, he's throwing pens everywhere. Oh, let me pick those pens up. So because there's love, then it doesn't feel like surrender. So surrender is only a scary word when you don't have love. But when you cultivate this love for Krishna, then you naturally and effortlessly want to serve and comply with whatever is asked of you. And Mahaprabhu was saying, we understand that Krishna loves us, and now we want to reciprocate. We want to show our love back to him. So first part of the equation is we start to appreciate that Lord Chaitanya has come. It's very, very rare. He's given a very, very special gift. I should do something now. I should reciprocate. I should try to make an endeavor. He's made such an endeavor for me, made a whole arrangement for me. Srila Prabhupada, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, the 6 Goswamis, so much arrangement. So many personalities have come, written books. So much has been set up for us. And so we should think, okay, well, he's shown so much love for me. Let me show some love for him. So today is a day of appreciation, appreciating all those things, and learning how not to offend the name and how to respect the devotees. So you don't just offend the name by offending the name, you offend the name by offending the devotees. So you can't be really devotional to chanting and rude to devotees at the same time, because indirectly you're being rude to the holy name by doing that. And then at the end, Mahat was saying, are we aware we've been given a gift that's like more valuable than £5 million? So if I gave you £5 million just now, you'd probably shed a tear. So we can shed a few tears. We just need to reflect on how valuable it is. £5 million, you'd probably find after a couple of years with £5 million, you'd be shedding a tear that you were given the £5 million in the first place, because it would cause so much problems, And then right at the very end, he says, let us know this, and even more importantly, let us feel this. So the difference between knowing something and feeling something is that when you feel something, then it's coming from the heart. We know we should love Krishna, but do we feel that we should love Krishna? We know we should chant the holy name, but do we feel that we should chant the holy name? And then if we're able to do that, then we can be inspired to take this gift, this holy name, without offense, and fully realize the gift he's given. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki Nitai Go Premanandi. And now the next part of the program, Ashish is going to give everybody a check for £5 million. Is everybody okay with that? And if he loses the checks, then he'll just give you the holy name. But that should be okay. Shouldn't be a problem with that. Actually, we've got a few minutes. So does anybody have any questions, comments, reflections, or would like to do a small dance on the stage? Questions, comments, reflections, inspirations? Don't be shy. So just to reiterate, on an appearance day, it's especially, and although this isn't the actual appearance day, the actual appearance day was a few days ago. We're all gathered together in the temple, and we're in amongst devotees. There's prasadam flying around, and the holy name, and deities, and shalagrams, and so many auspicious things. And just the fact that we all come together like this is auspicious in itself. So that makes it an occasion for being able to heighten our ability to appreciate, increase our awareness to be able to appreciate that we have a great fortune, and that we should never ever think of giving it up, even if we're not able sometimes to open the present. And Srila Prabhupada said it took him 30 years to perfect his chanting. So don't get frustrated, if you're trying to open your present and it's taking you a long time to get the wrapper off. If you're still trying to open it after 30 years, then you can panic. But hopefully you'll get a glimpse. Hopefully you'll get a glimpse under the wrapping paper that there's something really, really nice there. And then that will inspire you to continue on. There has to be shiksha, there has to be instruction. Before you can really hear the holy name, you have to hear about the holy name, because it's an act of inspiration, actually, to want to sit down and hear something, because you've been told that this is like a magic thing, and when you hear it, amazing things will happen. But otherwise you would think, well, it just seems like a mundane sound vibration. And it takes a certain amount of time to appreciate that. Srila Prabhupada likened it to having an iron rod. If you have the iron rod, and people are telling you this iron rod is like fire, and you're like, well, it doesn't seem like fire to me, but you put it in the fire, you have to leave it in the fire long enough, and then eventually when you pull the iron rod out, it is like fire. It takes on the qualities of fire. So mantra, chanting the holy name, is a little bit like that. You have to associate for some time and focus and concentrate, and then the heat starts to come. And then you can feel your nature changing from being cold, dark iron to becoming bright, effulgent, pure consciousness. That there's a shift that takes place. And it's a direct experience. It's not just a theoretical thing and we believe it and hope for the best. It's very dynamic. You can experience it right now in this moment if you persevere, if you're able to focus and meditate for long enough. It takes a certain amount of meditation to drop through the layers of mental platform and then finally wow, the holy name, you start hearing the holy name. And then everything starts to transform, everything changes. So the holy name especially comes through shiksha, through instruction. Okay, do we have the next part of the program ready? Yeah? Yeah. Okay, I'll hand you over now to our next amazing performance, which will be by Prabhupada Prana Prabhu. Prabhupada Prana Prabhu ki. Gaura Purnima. Hari Bol.
So, thank you, Toksha Prabhu and Mahatma Prabhu, for giving us that wonderful talk about Lord Chaitanya's mercy and special gift. So, we're actually just going to do a quick swap round of some things. Now, we're going to do the Bhakti Awards. Ragnar's going to do a little presentation on that and call up those individuals who have come to certain levels of Bhakti steps. For anyone who doesn't know what Bhakti steps are, Ragnar's going to do a quick rundown on it.
Hare Krishna. So I hope you're having a wonderful time so far. So we created this Bhakti Steps program in order to appreciate everyone who are making their steps in Krishna consciousness. And one of the most important items and practices in Bhakti Yoga is chanting. So there is various types of milestones in our life. Whenever we go to school or go to there's a wedding and etc., we celebrate and appreciate people who are making those steps. So we developed this program in similarly to appreciate yourselves who are making the next step in their spiritual life, who are starting to chant more, who are developing and cultivating character. So we developed 5 steps, and there's a recommendation by Bhaktivinoda Thakur to increase your chanting by 4 rounds at the time. It's called Granta. So each step means that you increase your rounds by 4. And if you are not so bothered to make another step, if you just want to make a first step, that is also completely fine. So we have these 5 different levels to appreciate and celebrate your steps. And today we have actually 23 people who decided to make their first step or the next step in their Krishna consciousness and in their commitment to chanting. So I'd like to give a round of applause to those people who are about to come to receive their certifications. So as you can see, this pandemic was very, very hard and difficult time for many people, but yourselves actually took advantage of this situation to increase your inspiration and commitment and Krishna consciousness. So this is so wonderful. And that shows that no matter how difficult situation could be, it can be transformed, this negative, into positive. So many people, it is actually almost a Krishna conscious explosion happening in Edinburgh and in Glasgow. So there's so many people are making their steps in Glasgow and Edinburgh. So also those who facilitated and encouraged those people in their steps, would like to appreciate those as well. Abhirami, Tiago, and in Edinburgh, and others who helped. There's a Bengali community who is wonderfully developing and growing in Edinburgh, and also in Glasgow. We have another community that is growing, that is facilitated by Adikavi, Baleshwara Prabhu. So this is there as well, wonderful input to help encourage people to make their next step. So this will be a level 1 certificate, which means that this following people gonna come up, they are committing to chant 1 round a day. So it is so easy to make your first step. Simply, you need to chant 1 round. And there's a couple other small things that I will mention, but you can read in a leaflet next to the temple. There's a leaflet rack that you can pick up back the steps in case you decide to do it, because it's so easy. You simply chant for 7, 8, 9, 10 minutes, this 1 round a day, and receive a certificate, appreciation, and a round of applause and the blessings from devotees and also from our temple president. So I'd like to ask to step forward a few people who are receiving level 1 certificates. So is Trisha Sara, is she here? So you can pick up for her. And then Bishal Roy. Or you can, their mom or dad could come, because some of those people are kids, which is also wonderful. So if you all could stay, the level 1 could stay and we take a group photo. You can stay on behalf of these people. Also, Bishon Roy. Whoever received the certificate, please stay here. We'll take a group photo of the level 1s. Bishon Roy. Tani Roy.
Tani.
Richa Mittal. Is she here? Bravo.
Richa.
Rashmi Pai Malaya. Wonderful. Bravo.
Rashmi.
Arohi Singh. This is, I believe, is, yes, that's the daughter of Baleshwara. Couple Shreyas Jha. Is Shreyas Jha here? And Shashwa Jha. Bravo, wonderful. Okay, so give a round of applause to those receiving level 1 certificates. Bravo, Sadhu. Take a group photo. Wonderful, well done for everyone. Fantastic, thanks. So now we have a level 2 certificate.
Thanks very much. We look forward to the next festival. We step 2.
Possible.
The thing with steps, actually, you take the steps whenever you're ready. You don't take too many steps if we're not ready, so just whenever you're ready. But with some of these devotees, actually, we're going to have to create some new steps, because every time they come, there's another step and another step. So this time next year, somebody will be chanting 64 rounds, I think.
Actually, there is one person who is chanting a lot every day, so we'll come to that. So next is Shilpi receiving level 2 certificate, which is fantastic. Okay, on behalf of, okay.
Does anyone get a spare sari?
It's okay. Next is Rajesh Tiwari.
Okay,
Wonderful.
Rajesh.
It's competition between husband and wife. They're going step by step together. Fantastic. Fantastic. That was Prana, not me. Next is Saraswati Pana. Still level 2, Saraswati Pana.
Saraswati.
Okay. Okay, perfect. Next level 2 certificate is awarded to Krishna. Krishna is not here.
Krishna's in your heart.
Who can take on behalf of Krishna? Next is Avani. I think that's Baleshwara's daughter. That's transcendental competition between sisters. So if you'd like to sit down, and this is all level 2 certificates, give us a round of applause and your blessings. Fantastic. Jai, Hare Krishna, congratulations. Well done. Next, we have one person who is receiving level 3 certificate, which is Babita Roy. I guess. Wonderful. Level 3 means minimum 8 rounds and a few other things that you can check. Jai, wonderful. And we have many, it's about 5 people receiving level 5 certificates. Yes, only one person on level 4. Congratulations, wonderful. No competition on this level. Next is level 5 certificate. So we're skipping level 4 and we're going straight into level 5. So Bikash Roy is here. Is he here, Bikash, or anybody on behalf of him could take? Okay. Yes, it's 5. Next is Venkatesh Kolisetti, if you can stay here as well. Venkatesh, wonderful. Bravo. That's 16 rounds of Japa. Wonderful. Millie Das. Is Millie Das here? Bravo, wonderful. 16 rounds of Japa. Joy Shri Deb. Bravo. So most of these people are chanting 16 rounds, but Joy Shri Deb is chanting 18 rounds. That's yourself? Fantastic.
Prabhat.
Yes. So the last one is Akadashi. Who's Akadashi? Oh, she chants for 27. No problem. I got confused. I thought there is a person called Akadashi who is chanting 27 rounds a day. We'll give you the certificate anyway.
Just to remind us that Prabhat said minimum 16, so someone's taking up Prabhat's order seriously.
So let us give a round of applause to this wonderful commitment. Thank you. Bravo. Sadhu. So next time we will making awards. Back to Steps Awards is on April the 10th from Ram Navami. So anybody would like to make their first step or the next step, then please let us know. But if you want to remain where you are, it's completely fine. Okay. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
So just before we go next door to the temple for evening arti, we're just going to quickly recite the Shikshastakam. These are the 8 verses which Lord Chaitanya wrote. And as we were saying earlier on, although Nimai Pandit, he was known as Pandit, then he actually only left these. But these 8 verses are giving the complete teachings of Krishna consciousness. So I'll just go through them, and if anybody knows it, then they can certainly join in. Cheto Darpanamarjanam Bhavamaha Devagni Nirvapanam Shreya Kaira Chandrika Vitaranam Vijavadajivanam Anandam Vidivardhanam Pratipatam Purnamrita Swadanam Sarvatmasnapanam Param Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. Glory to the Sri Krishna Sankirtan, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life of repeated birth and death. This Sankirtan movement is a prime benediction for humanity at large because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon, increases the ocean of transcendental bliss, and it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we're always anxious. Nam Namakari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shaktis Tatar Pitani Amata Smaranena Kala Itadrishi Tava Kripa Bhagavan Mamapi Durdaivam Idrisham Yahajananuragaha. O my Lord, your holy name alone can render all benediction to living beings. And thus you have hundreds and millions of names like Krishna and Govinda, etc. In these transcendental names, you've invested all your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. O my Lord, out of kindness, you enable us to easily approach you by your holy names, but I am so unfortunate I have no attraction for them. Everyone should know this one. Trinadapi sane chena tarorapi sahisnuna amanina manadena kirtaniya sadahari. One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw on the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and should be ready for all respects unto others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the whole name of the Lord constantly. Nadanam, Najanam, Nasundarim, Kavitam, Vajragadishkamaye, Mama Janmani, Janmanishware, Bhavatad Bhakti Rohitaki Tui. O my Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your causeless devotional service, birth after birth. Ainandatanuja kinkaram patitamam vishame bhavam buddho kripaya tavapada pankaja stitaduli sadrisham vichantaya. O son of Maharaj Nanda, Krishna, I am your eternal servitor, yet somehow or other I have fallen to this ocean of death, birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as one of the atoms at your lotus feet. Nayanam Galata Shudaraya Vadanam Gadgada Rudaya Gira Pulakarna Chitam Pugada Tavanam Gane Bhavishati. O my Lord, when will my eyes be decorated with tears of love, flowing constantly when I chant your holy name? When will my voice choke up, and when will the hairs of my body stand on end at the recitation of your name? Yugayitam Nimeshena Chakshusha Pravishaitam Shunyayatam Jagat Sarvam Govinda Virahiname. O Govinda, feeling your separation and considering a moment to be like 12 years or more, tears are flowing from my eyes like torrents of rain, and I am feeling all vacant in the world in your absence. Ashlishava Padritam Panashtamam Madarshtamam Atam Krutava Yata Tatava Vidatu Lampato Matprananatastu Zaevanapara. I know no one but Krishna as my Lord, and he shall remain so, even if he handles me roughly by his embrace, or makes me broken-hearted by not being present before me. He is completely free to do anything and everything, for he is always my worshipful Lord unconditionally. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Shikshastra Kimaki, Shri Kod Nitai Mahaprashashi Ki, Srila Prabhupada Ki, Skon Guravinda Ki, Nitai Gaur Premanande. So now we'd like to ask everybody to pop over to the temple, squeeze in somehow, and we're going to have Arti from 6:30 till 7, and then we'll come back here for Prasad. So thanks everyone for taking part today.